What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Quake 2. Now that we've retrieved the railgun, we can finally leave this horrible level by going across the evil grid of lasers. We can actually see the tracks that these things move on down there, and so we'll know exactly where they go, but I just gotta get them to line up right so I can jump across. There's some random dude over there. I have no idea where he came from. But then, yeah, there's a demonstration of the railgun real quick if I didn't get to show it off in the last video. And it's pretty ridiculous, as it should be. It's powerful and it doesn't have a scope, so this is old school sniper precision accuracy type of crap that modern games seem to lack. The railgun should be an essential weapon in every FPS, in my opinion. When you think about it, the railgun is a staple weapon of the Quake series, but it wasn't in the original game. So, it's more of a Quake 2 staple when you think about it. So it's a weapon that Quake 2 is famous for, not really the Quake series itself. Even though it's been in every game since then except for Quake Wars. As far as I know. There might be a railgun equivalent weapon in Quake Wars, but I'm sure it doesn't behave the exact same way. It's probably just a Strog sniper rifle. I need to play Quake Wars more. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so we're moving on to the next unit, which is the big gun level, which is, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite parts of the game, but it definitely is a really cool series of levels, and it definitely feels more purposeful than the whole mine sequence, which was really kind of pointless in my opinion. I didn't really like it very much. And you can see it off in the distance. There's the big gun, which, we're going to be moving up. We have to go through a series of like smaller levels to get to it because there's a variety of installations that are around it. We have to destroy, shut down, infiltrate, whatever have you, before we actually move on to blowing up the big gun itself. Blowing up the big gun itself is actually the really easy part. It's everything else that takes up most of this unit. But inside this main area here, there are going to be some Iron Maidens that pop up, and I could probably use the railgun on them if I wanted to. I just have a lot of chain gun ammo. There's a secret area over here that gets blown open by the exploding barrels. And up here there's this tight little hallway, and there's a berserker that comes out here, which is not a good place to have a berserker because that's such a tight hallway. But then there's this gladiator that we can't dodge at all. But the main purpose of the secret area up here is we get the last weapon in the game, the best weapon, or the ultimate weapon rather. And we get it early. It's the BFG 10K, which is like the BFG 9K, except it's 10K, so it's over 9,000, which makes it awesome. And an overused internet joke, but yeah, it's the game's ultimate weapon, and it's the BFG, so can't really go wrong with that. It's better than having a weapon that behaves like the BFG that's not called the BFG, like in Quake 4. But yeah, this is the first Quake game to also have a BFG. The original Quake's arsenal was pretty simplified, to be honest. They basically just had the shotgun, the nail gun, and the upgraded versions of those two. Rocket launcher, grenade launcher, then lightning gun. In fact, I don't even think the lightning gun was called the lightning gun, really. I think that was more of a fan name to begin with. I'm going to demonstrate the BFG 10K on this large tank boss enemy down there. It's the one we fought as the boss earlier. I'm going to use the quad damage as well, so we can probably take him out with like 1 or 2 shots. We don't need to kill this enemy, but I figured I might as well with my overkill firepower here. Yeah, the BFG is pretty ridiculous, as it should be. The only problem is it uses the cells that the hyperblaster uses. So if you use the BFG, you won't have as much ammo for the hyperblaster, and vice versa. But it all depends on if you want to kill a bunch of enemies over the duration of some time, or if you want to kill a bunch of enemies in the same encounter. If you want to kill a bunch of enemies at once, you use the BFG. If you want to kill enemies over the course of time, maybe throughout some hallways or whatever, obviously you use the hyperblaster because it doesn't use all that ammo at once. Either way, there's something. Did I talk about the power suit yet? I don't think I talked about the power suit. But yeah, there's an item called the power suit that we can activate that allows us to have some shielding. And it consumes our shielding is equivalent to how many cells we have. I'm going to jump down here despite the fact that there's explosions coming out of it. I'm just going to skip right past those explosions and go down to this area. I'm not sure if you're supposed to go this way or not. I just like to go this way. But yeah, it can be pretty good, and I'll probably use it 1 or 2 times in the game, but it's like, I would rather you have my cells being used for the weapons, the 2 weapons that they go with, and not for trying to keep me alive. That being said, though, armor is a bit more scarce in this game than it is in a lot of other 8 games that I've noticed, so it could be useful. I might talk about it again when we actually pick it up. I don't know if I don't remember if I've actually used it yet. But the railgun is still going to get tons of screen time just because it's just that awesome. Oh, I wanted to hit both those guys at once. I could do it too. It would be basically 1 shot each because I'd be killing 2 enemies with 2 shots. But yeah, since there's no location damage in this game though, I'm not really trying to get headshots. At least I don't think there's any location damage. There's none that I've discovered so far. But one thing I am glad for the later games in the series and the other id Software games is that they added, you know, when the weapons actually have, I managed to actually dodge that guy for a change, the weapons actually have their own separate ammo pools instead of feeding off each other's. For instance, the machine gun and chain gun in Doom 3 and the BFG and plasma gun in Doom 3. That's four weapons with 4 separate ammo pools instead of 4 weapons with 2 separate ammo pools like in the original Doom. And same thing with Quake 4 in this, where the Hyper Blaster and the Dark Matter gun had 2 separate ammo pools for 2 separate weapons. There was no chain gun or double barrel shotgun in Quake 4 though, if you remember that LP, but oh well, that game didn't really, those 2 weapons were balanced enough to where they didn't need the upgraded versions. They were just kind of overkill at that point. I did like the fact that they added the double barrel shotgun to Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil though, as a sort of a trade-off for more damage at once but a slower reload time. And that's the only exception to it using the same ammo pool as the other weapon. And that also goes for Rage as well, because in Rage you had the DLC double barrel shotgun that had the same trade-off, but it used the same 3 ammo types as the regular shotgun did. But none of the other weapons in Rage were like that. So even like if you had the assault rifle and the submachine gun, they both used separate ammo pools. Of course, that's the game where you could actually buy ammo, so you had overabundance of that as well. Much like in these games, I felt like you do have a ton of ammo, like you'll never really run out for some of these weapons. Like, look at this, the railgun has like 75 shots right now, or 73 now. And I'll never use all of those, even if I'm using it on like every enemy. By the time I get to the end of the game, I will have picked up more as I've been using it. So, over here's another BFG 10K, and I think we have to go down this way, but I don't think we are quite ready to go down here yet. Yeah, we have to do something first before we can go down there. But yeah, I still like the Hyper Blaster for taking out those flying sentry dudes because it lacks recoil. Speaking of double barrel shotguns though, I decided I would use the double barrel shotgun a little bit in my Deus Ex 3 LP that I've been recording now. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with it. It's not really all that good. Usually the double barrel shotgun is like the most awesome weapon in any given game that it's in. If it's done right at least, and it's not just there as a crappy gimmick weapon or something like that. But most of the games that I've LP'd or that I intend to LP that have double barrel shotguns, they're awesome. But not in that game. I mean, I make good use out of it and it's still really cool. But yeah, it's not as good as this one. Not as good as the one in the other id Software games. They did it first, they do it best. And like an idiot, I just walked over my own grenade. I wasn't too worried about using the quad damage earlier. Oh, there's another railgun over here if you didn't get the one in the previous level. But like I said, I wasn't too worried about using the quad damage on that guy out there because I probably could have killed him with the BFG with just a couple more shots. But it did help me to save ammo, and the fact that I usually end up having to use a quad damage just to pick up a quad damage because I don't think to use it that much. Ooh, dang it, got hurt really bad from that. This room is pretty tricky. I'm pretty sure I've died a couple times in this room because you come out, you spend so much time trying to carefully get past those lasers, and there's 3 gunners out here. There we go. Blow up their corpse and everything. Leave nothing left standing. Let's see, I think I want the railgun. No, I have full ammo for the chain gun, I might as well use that. Which is, the chain gun is also pretty good at taking out these guys. It just has more of a spread than the Hyper Blaster does. Oh, I was on the wrong side. I was like, I know there's gonna be an enemy around this corner, but I aimed in the wrong direction. And I just almost got hit in the face with the rail there. Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about these gladiators, is you really have to rush them in order to dodge that their rails are popping in and out of cover like that, because they will hit you. They are unfairly accurate because the rail is it travels instantaneously, or it travels so fast that it's impossible to dodge after it's been fired. I guess that's true with a lot of sniper rifle type weapons in video games though, but it's like you can't really see the beam and where the shot came from as well with a normal bullet as you can with the railgun stream or something like that. I mean, you have like the smoke trail for like the sniper rifle in Halo, which is pretty cool. That's basically the realistic version of this same feature. Yeah, we went and disabled that, so I think now we can head back to the toxic waste zone. Maybe we have to do something else first. Maybe we have to go over here first. Yeah, it looks like this leads to another section of the level. Oh, God, I'm so sick of these gunners. They are just so... I mean, they're a nice, challenging enemy, which I like. They don't have too much health for how common they are, but it's like at this point in the game, they just start throwing like dozens of them at us at once, and it's just like, chill out, game, please. That's too many of them. That being said, I do wish modern FPS games had meaty encounters like that had, you know, dozens of tough enemies at a time. See, I'm pretty sure we can't get back up here through this way. We have to take an alternate way out of the level because we can't get back up there that way. So this one's going to be a little bit weird. We're probably going to come out from a completely different place we came into this level from. This encounter is actually really annoying, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the BFG on these guys. I don't even care anymore. I'm trying to fight this loose analog stick, trying to hit these guys. It wasn't like that when I first got this game, because like the Xbox 360 controller is the same one I've had since I got my Xbox 360, and the analog sticks are starting to not recenter as well. I mean, they're still fantastic analog sticks, and the controller still feels good, but they don't, like I said, they don't recenter as well. You'll probably notice that in Deus Ex 3 when I'm trying to hack something, my camera's just going all over the place because the analog stick won't frickin' sit still. Anyway, that switch opened up a trench down here we can drop into that has some enemies in it. Obviously, it's basically a little water canal down there, and that's an alternate path through the level. Again, with the berserkers flying backwards on their backs with the Hyper Blaster. I'm not sure if we're supposed to go that way or not. I might decide to go that way instead, just because maybe there's less resistance down there. I don't really remember this level well enough to know the difference between the two paths. But there are some security bot things down here. I made sure to look up all the enemy names before doing this LP, but by now I've forgotten what those guys were called. I think there was some ammo or something dropped in the water, but I'm not sure if it'll actually go downstream. Now right there, you saw that ladder right there? That is a area down there where if you can jump off the canal and go down there and get some stuff, and that's how you get back up. But there's a couple Iron Maidens over here. This part is actually really tricky too, because you don't have a lot of room to maneuver. And their rockets have obvious splash damage, so we can just sort of blow them away with those exploding barrels though. Despite the fact that I was using the Hyper Blaster so much, we could just pick up another one right there, so I'm not really worried about using the ammo. More freaking gunners and berserkers. I'm really sick of these enemies by now. I mean, it's late enough in the game, we've got so much firepower that the game decides, yeah, remember these medium to heavy enemies from early game? Those are going to be light enemies now. I like the game does that. It makes the encounters gradually become more challenging as the game goes on, instead of just having the same vanilla encounters over and over again and then having powerful weapons that we never use. Don't know what the purpose of that structure is right there. The level design is sort of without reason in a lot of these early Ed games. Not so much in this one as much as in Doom. The level design in that game is all over the place. But definitely there's a lot of things in this game that don't make a lot of sense. At least they have like some sort of fiction to what these things are supposed to do and what these places are supposed to be. There was a switch right here I activated already by accident, but this is part of a sequence. We have to come up here now. Use each machine's activation to take us up to the next machine. Let's see, this one is a moving piston. I think there's supposed to be a door right here somewhere. Where the hell is the thing? Is there no way out of this thing? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Duh. Yeah, there it is. You can see it. I just gotta get back up there now. Yeah, whatever you do, just don't fall off right here. That I was actually pretty close to falling off right there because I bounced off that other cylinder. Now we completed the sequence, and these cylinders are going to take us back up to the top, I think.